Joe Keith, December 1st, 2008, Fartlander. Page 1. We open on Arena Box. Interior, Audience Row Y. Upon a man bundled up in his trench coat. We're panning in on him sitting and staring angrily at the match below. Fans all around him cheer, though we do not hear them. Interior, robot ring. Two robots circle each other. It's Johnny Five against a gold duplicate. A charge. They start to strangle one another. The crowd only goes crazier. Interior, Audience Row Y. Someone accidentally spills soda all over the bundled man's right shoulder. His head turns right back and up at this blind man, laughing hysterically. The trenchcoat man turns back to us and closes his eyes tightly. A fart later, and the blind man begins to choke. Interior, robot ring. Gold Johnny lights a match, and sober Johnny backs away. Another fart, and sober Johnny breaks apart in a flame. Interior, Audience Row Y. This trenchcoat man sits up and walks away, out of the crowd, and his back towards us. He exits the arena. Interior, parking lot. The trenchcoat man walks out, his eyes thinned. He steps on a bottle of ragu and it's all under his right foot. A fart. He stands there looking ahead from side to side. Now he crushes the sauce, smashing it into the ground. One more quick fart and the trenchcoat man moves on. He walks out between the parked cars, but now a man wrapped in toilet paper from neck to toe steps around a corner. Man in sunglasses, from behind. McLeod. McLeod turns, farting. He stares angrily at Cloud. Stencho. Stencho and McLeod whip out their brown swords. Stencho strikes, and McLeod blocks. Stencho is striking again and again, and McLeod is stepping back with each ground metal connection. McLeod leaps up at Stencho's desperate attempt at a feet chop-off, and McLeod brings down the sword, splitting Stencho's head open vertically, from top to upper lip. Stencho groans, and starts spinning around, with mad gas like Gatling gun right out of his ass. McLeod backflips out of his tornado twirling. McLeod ducks as he comes, ducks and farts, now holding his brown sword out in front of him. Stencho spins over, and soon stops, impaled through the stomach. McLeod smiles, split-head Stencho grins. Page 2. Now a stream of shit sprays in McLeod's face, and McLeod is on his ass, and just like that, McLeod farts again. A slight groan from McLeod, as Stencho pulls up both brown swords. He brings them down, but McLeod rolls out of his way. And with one more fart, he's on his feet again. Stencho. You really cleaned my bowels. Now I'm gonna... McLeod takes hold of his waving piece of toilet paper. McLeod whips the paper away, and Stencho is now being torn apart. Shit drops down and collapses. Stencho is now nothing but a severed head in a big pile of feces. McLeod is struck by lightning. And stares amazed into the light with his arms out. He's ripping a loud fart as it does. Then it all goes away. McLeod runs away, a fart with each step is heard. But we hold on dead Stencho. McLeod is running, and he halts at a small band of cops, and they all have guns trained on him. Male officer. Don't move, asshole! McLeod overlooks the officers, one by one with his hands up, then he farts. Male officer. Continue advancing. You just don't learn, do ya? Cut to police station. Midnight downtown. Interior interrogation room. McLeod sits behind a table. A long red-haired woman stares back at him. Red-haired woman.
I'm Brenda.
McLeod. Connor. Brenda.
Care to explain the severed head in a pile of shit and toilet paper we found near you?
McLeod. Slight nod. No. Brenda.
Then what's this?
McLeod looks down at a brown sword. He leans in. He looks up with a prolonged squeaking, leaving his pants. McCloud. A sword? Brenda, pinching nose.
Very funny.
McCloud, standing up. I have to use the restroom. Excuse me. McCloud passes her by. Brenda.
McCloud, we're just getting started.
Brenda turns back to see the sword is missing. Page 3. Brenda, spinning around, angered.
Hey.
A flying brigade of brown balls smash into Brenda's face. Cut to downtown. Near Silver Cup. Exterior Bridge Street, after midnight. A station wagon rides down the way, a big lug inside. Interior, station wagon. The big lug is listening to the radio. Female radio voiceover.
The beheader went to the bathroom and was never heard from again. The search is on in this strange man's game of fetch.
You now see, as the big lug turns the channel, he's sitting on a driver's seat in resemblance to a commode. Big lug. I know this game. Exterior bridge. Pan out upon the bridge as the car drives further away. Queen. Song. I am a king, this is no game. I am the master of Skin Bro. Just give me the prize. The sound of a toilet flushing. Cut to apartment complex. Interior, McCloud's apartment. Couch room. Connor McCloud sharpens his sword. He smiles, almost laughing, now turning to a fish tank. 5 fish floating at the tip of the murky waters within. Cut to Scotland, 1560. Exterior, castle. McCloud gets drunk in front of a castle. Then a big lug wearing a beast's skull for a cap steps up with a sword. Big lug. Nice to meet you, Fartlander. McCloud. From far away. Nice to meet you. Oh! McCloud hits the ground, hunched over, holding his stomach. Big lug, raising sword. There could be only none! McCloud lets out a loud fart. Big lug begins to shake. He shakes down to his knees, and the castle cracks. Storm clouds swarm, and the wind picks up around them. McCloud stands up and starts to run. Big lug growls, ready to follow most furiously. Then Connor jumps high with one rocky boost fart that sends him spiraling out of control, far, far away to safety. Page 4. Flash 2, moments later. The storm clouds still swarm over this bumpy hill field of rock and grass. Connor McCloud is awakening just now. A happy yelling, "Oh!" And a horseman leaps over him on horse. He turns right around, tipping his peacock hat. Peacock. Greetings, Fartlander. I am Bong Jong Fort Ramirez. Bowing. And I am at your service. McCloud, rubbing a white nose. You could have killed me. What do you want, for heaven's sake? Ramirez, pointing, smiling. You. Ramirez tips his hat, getting off of the horse shitting. Ramirez. Excuse me. Cut to Fartland Mountain. Storm clouds above. Exterior, platform high. Ramirez tunes and smokes his bong guitar. Sweet turns. Yeah. But Connor is struck by lightning. She's right arm up, McCloud. Killed underwear filling. Ramirez. The sensation you're feeling is the shittening. Cut to Ruins Island. Exterior, shore. Just beyond, Ramirez rows a rowboat. McCloud stands. Ramirez. It is revolting, isn't it? McCloud. It hasn't killed me yet. Ramirez. You can't die, you foof! You're Fartlander! McCloud, docking. How did it happen? Flash to Ruins Center. A building of rocks in ruins. Ramirez, docking. Why does the sun come up? Or are the stars just shitholes in the curtain of night? Who knows? What I do know is that because you were born different, men will smell you and try to drive you away. McCloud turns with thinned eyes. A long fart begins, and it's not stopping. Ramirez looks deep into McCloud's eyes with a slight grin. McCloud just looks at him in disgust as the fart shows no signs of ceasing. Then it stops. McLeod. Is that me or you? Ramirez. We're the same, McLeod. Ramirez suddenly holds up 2 skid-marked white tights. He holds them high in the night sky. Ramirez, thunder rolling. We're brothers! Page 5. Fate 2. Hidden Village. McLeod and Ramirez creep over a hill with brown swords holstered at hip. They look down into the crowd. A blonde woman at a vending machine. A bright smile by friends. McLeod. What about Miss Elfman? Ramirez, rising. You must leave her. Let her go. McLeod, continue. I will not! Ramirez. You must. I once knew a woman from Tokyo. Her name was Shikiko Duduki. When Shikiko died, well, let's just say I'm trying to spare you the same pain. Of course, if you just want to hit it and quit it, you could. Ramirez looks around. McLeod has vanished. Then he looks down the hill to see Connor fucking Miss Elfman up against a boulder. Ramirez. Flash 2, down below. Ramirez leads McLeod through the crowd. Miss Elfman is still being walked along, being plugged with each step. Ramirez, walking. If the head comes away from the neck, it's over. A man stands by in between. He shakes his head in disgust, hooting at the idea of his ex-wife being plugged. Gawker. Fucking Fartlanders! Ramirez continued, walking away. Kill that son of a bitch! Gawker. No! McLeod beheads the gawking man with a swing of his blade. Flash 2, a rock wall with a crude drawing of a familiar man. McLeod stares at it, then turns to Ramirez. Ramirez. You've seen him before, haven't you, McLeod? McLeod. Who is he? Ramirez. A Fartlander, but not like us. His name is Kurgan. Cut to downtown, present 1986. Exterior, alleyway. Kurgan, the big lug, sword plays with the champion gold Johnny 5. And now a squad car is passing by with the donut-chomping copper inside, listening to the radio. Queen song. We don't waste no time at all. Don't hear the bell, but my butt, it's small. The car turns slowly into the alley. Queen. Throw your shit and hear their groans. Don't sniff mad smells, but's got a penny load. Don't hear 'em moan, now's the time for your pants to explode. Page 6. Copper, climbing out window. What the fuck's going on? The copper pulls a pistol and runs down the wet alleyway. He stops just as Kurgan decapitates the gold Johnny Bot. The head rolls away, sparking. The cop opens fire, a few bullets into the big lug's chest. Kurgan drops flat on his back. The copper lowers his weapon. But now a chainsaw fart starts up. The copper begins to back away. But as he begins to turn back to his car, Kurgan is behind him in a flash. Kurgan. Leaving so soon. Kurgan drives the brown sword into the copper's bowels through his butthole. No! Kurgan laughs. Ha 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 ha. Cut to apartment complex. Interior, McLeod's apartment. Couch room. Connor lies on the couch asleep. A belch later, and there's a sudden knock at the door. Connor's eyes shoot open. Flash to front door. Connor opens the door, and Brenda is standing there. Connor. Brenda, so nice to see you again. Brenda.
We need to talk.
Connor steps back, and Brenda steps in. He farts, closing the door. Brenda walks over to the window, a rainy night's view. Connor walks over now, farting with each step. She opens the window. Connor. I'd like that closed, please. Brenda.
Are you going to stop farting?
Connor, offended. Why don't you start? Connor walks away. Brenda sighs, closing the window. She walks over to Connor and tries her hardest to rip one, but only the smallest of squeaks escapes the hole. Connor. My name is Connor McLeod, of the clan McLeod, and I cannot die. or stop fighting. Brenda puts a wooden clip over her nose. Connor, halting before her. A Fartlander. Connor farts. Brenda begins to gag. Just then the window shatters. Kurgan swings by, stealing Brenda away. She's screaming madly. Connor. Kurgan! Kurgan, baiting. See you again, Fartlander. Connor, calling out. Brenda! Connor's head jerks to the couch, panning rapidly upon the brown sword. Then a wet fart is let go. Page 7. Cut to Scotland, 1560. Interior, broken castle. Ramirez pours Miss Elfman a pot of tea at a table of bone. Ramirez, pouring. I can't believe it was this easy to convince McLeod to leave the woman I planned to score with. Uh-oh. Did I say that? Or just think it? Miss Elfman.
Stop staring at my chest.
The door is broken down. Kurgan stands there, stepping in and ripping off his skull cap. Ramirez jumps up. Ramirez. Kurgan! Kurgan. Ramirez. Ramirez slices Kurgan's throat open with his brown sword. He now backpedals up the rocky stairwell. Kurgan continued. Asshole! Diarrhea pours out of Kurgan's mouth. Ramirez. My cut has improved your voice. Kurgan runs up the stairs. Their swords connect. Now Kurgan pushes Ramirez down to his knees. Ramirez grunts. Ugh! Now opening a can of So Delicious. Ramirez begins to chug. But Big Luck knocks it away. Ramirez. Bastard. Ramirez spits in Kurgan's face. Kurgan raises his sword. He decapitates Ramirez. Lightning surrounds Kurgan. Miss Elfman screams, melting away as her bowels empty. Cut to Church, present, 1986. Interior, prayer's bench. McLeod looks up to the altar. Now Kurgan walks in. McLeod turns his head as he sits down. Kurgan. Holy ground. We must never fight here. McLeod. Where's Brenda? Kurgan, smiling. The silver cup. Oh, stuck in the can again. Reminds me of Ramirez. I cut his head off and rent his woman before his bowels were even emptied. McLeod stares deep with anger. Then he rips another one. Kurgan. Oh, I see. The woman was not his. Her butt was yours. McLeod, standing up. I'll be outside. Kurgan, standing up. I have something to say. It's better to burn toast than to fart ablaze. Fade out on Kurgan's echoing laughter. Lightning strikes in the darkness. Page 8. Fade to Silver Cup Bridge. McLeod walks up to the Silver Cup complex, just off the bridge. He looks up to see Brenda, tied and bound. Now McLeod bends down, before a fart blasting 2 stories up. He lands on the rooftop. McLeod walks over to Brenda, struggling in vain. But then Kurgan jumps out of nowhere, shoving him aside. The adversaries raise their swords and they connect. McLeod is backing away with each passing strike. Kurgan ducks and head jabs McLeod in the throat. McLeod drops to his knees before rolling out of the way of certain headshot. McLeod is on his feet again, and the swords tear into each other again. Afar from each as they erupt off the ground. The rooftop breaks apart. Their swords scrape against each other, creating sparks. Brenda falls now too. Interior, dance floor. The 3 fall within the glass and raindrops. They land, with Brenda rolling away instantly. Kurgan gets up, runs up, and kicks McLeod in the chest and to his feet. Kurgan swings, and McLeod's sword smacks against it. McLeod jabs Kurgan in the stomach with his free hand. Then uppercuts him. An eerily squirming piece of shit pops out of Big Lug's brown, bleeding mouth. Now McLeod drives Kurgan back with yet another series of more dramatic sword swings. And with each strike, there's but one frog cheer. Clank after clank after clank, with a sweep of Connor's feet. Kurgan is on his knees. McLeod unnecessarily circles Big Lug, who's starting to lose consciousness. McLeod's brown sword at a horizontal angle. Back to Brenda briefly, wetting herself. Kurgan shows McLeod his middle finger. McLeod then swings away, just once, beheading him. The body drops, and light is let out. McLeod stands looking down, then his eyes dart up at us with another quick fart. McLeod. There can be only none. Lightning and wind pick McLeod up in a series of grunts, farts, and evil creatures showing off their pit-mobiles in the light. Brenda stares with perky nipples. McLeod, spinning wildly. I fart every night! I have farted farts! McLeod drops. The light show is over. Brenda approaches on all fours, then starts licking McLeod's ass cheeks. McLeod wakes up and sticks his fist in her ass, a giggle. Cut to Scotland that morning. Exterior, Fartland Hills. Connor McLeod and Brenda McLeod watch their wedding rings shine. They sip wine from glasses, then look at the hills. Ramirez, voiceover. Congratulations, Fartlander. You've done well. Flash 2:15:60. Ramirez fucking Miss Elfman. McLeod is on the can and staring, raising two clenched fists, closing his eyes. Ramirez, voiceover. But it will take time. Every woman's thoughts are yours to know. Back to 1986 present. McLeod, groping Brenda. You never prepared me for that one, you Spanish peacock. Brenda.
What did you say?
McLeod farts, leaning over for a kiss, and they do. The end. Brandon Noel Keith, December 4th, 2008. Fartlander II. Page 1. We open on Opera House. Early night. Exterior, the street. Upon a statue of a soldier man cutting his belly open by sword. We pan around to the Opera House entrance. Interior, auditorium. A woman in a dress and depends sings prolonged gibberish. Moans from her, and slightly different moans from some of the watchers seated before her. Pan up to an old, long-haired man seated alone. We get a little closer, and it's revealed he's sleeping. The show goes on below him. Then trumpets sound. And this old man jerks awake, farting. It's Connor McLeod. He settles his bowels by settling in his seat. Then he picks up a book of toilet paper and turns to page 1, a list of show acts. McLeod picks up his opera glass and peers through, a closer look of the songstress and her cleavage. Ramirez, voiceover. Remember, Fartlander. Remember the rebellion? McLeod is so intent on the stage, he cares not for the gag stuffing piling up in his depends. Cut to stage faces, giant statues. They open up into a battlefield. McLeod guns down an oncoming tank with an Uzi. An explosion sends two male guards in black, soaring a flame and a fart. McLeod then whips around to another man with hair just as long, coming over the hill. The wind is blowing all of a sudden. McLeod is staring at a man in black, and with a scar up and down his left temple, the smiling presence seems secretly disgusted with McLeod, wiping his ass with a burning piece of tank metal. McLeod. That's the spot! Flash 2, sunken barge in sand. We head in to see a gathering of soldiers. and now a man walks out, flipping the hood off his brown coat. Ramirez. Ye men of the planet, hear me. We have struggled under the stench of Katana's asshole for the last time. And you stand with Alita for the last time. Ramirez pulls his sword with a fart sound, and it aims into the crowd. The soldiers move away. Connor looks back behind him. His eyes widen with another fart sound. He looks right back up and up to Ramirez. Ramirez continued. Yes, you. Flash to a moment later. McCloud and Ramirez dip their fingers into the mini John. They pull out with glowing brown fingers. With their right palms near, electric bolts bridge the gap. McCloud and Ramirez are now gunning from the bowels. Machine gun farts send the once gathered soldiers scattering. Grunt faces between the pair of Fartlanders in a farting match. Then someone lights a match and the whole place explodes. Page 2. Thunder outside. The two look over, healing over instantly as immortals do. Their burns instantly gone. They lower their hands. A much louder fart as the barge they stay begins to tip. It smashes down on an iceberg, shattering it. Cut to Sand Pub. Interior, sewer cell. McCloud is chained to the floor. He looks away from the bright lights of a rotting city. Katana steps up to him. Katana. Your friends in here remind me of you and Ramirez. So cold, and so very dead. McCloud. Maybe they're just waiting. Katana. Waiting for what? McCloud. For you to stop shitting on them. Katana spins around, farting in McCloud's face. Katana. See you at the hearing. McCloud gags as Katana walks away. Cut to Chamber of the Judges. McCloud and Ramirez stand below three cross-eyed goons in gray robes. Then Katana walks around the corner. Katana opening beer can. The punishment for murder is death. Judge them guilty, and I'll murder them here, now. McCloud whispering to Ramirez. Will we be together? Ramirez. Not at first, but we are joined in a way that can never be broken, not even by empty bowels. When you need me, you only need to fart my name. Katana rips a fart. Cross-eyed Goon 1. Silence, Katana! Cross-eyed Goon 2. McCloud, Ramirez, I hereby exile you into the future! Cross-eyed Goon 3. Good riddance! McCloud and Ramirez are lit up by lightning. Sudden farting. And now the pair disappear. Cut to Under Shield. Exterior, the street. Old McCloud drives down the way in his smoking doodlebug. He passes by rat-faced men fondling a half-dead slut. McCloud isn't paying attention to the road and slams into a pedestrian statue. McCloud. A sudden pause, then a blonde woman in a long coat walks, opens the door, and gets in. McCloud. Yes? Louise.
Louis Mexon. Enter McCloud.
McCloud. Nice to meet you. Now get out. Louise.
I can help you.
Page 3. McCloud. With what? Louise licks her lips, looking at his crotch. Connor pushes Louise's head into her lap. They drive up a ramp and down the other side. Flash to, moment later. McCloud still drives, and Louise pulls away. McCloud, looking at the road. What's the matter? Louise spits in McCloud's face. He doesn't even look at her, now wiping the globs away from his yob. Now he jabs her in the yob. McCloud continued. Stupid whore! Now the tires of the doodlebug pop one at a time. McCloud concluded. Shit! The sound of McCloud shitting his pants. Cut to Chamber of the Judges. The cross-eyed goons watch the screen with Katana. McCloud is getting out of the car, pulling a tire iron. Cross-eyed goons, unison. Isn't that your friend McCloud? He's getting older, but still has time to come back to us. Katana. I know that, I'm not blind! The goons shine incredibly bright flashlights in his eyes. Katana's eyes are being burned out of his skull. Katana. Flash 2, hallway. Katana punches a hole in the cardboard wall made up to look like it's stone. His immortal eyes pained, but healing rapidly. Two rat-faced men skip along. Katana clotheslines the rat-faced men to the ground. Then he picks them up by their throats. Katana concluded, "Find McCloud. Kill him." The rat-faced men nod, disappearing in light. Cut to 2nd Street. 3 or 4 tires have been fixed. McCloud is blowing on the 4th when Louise jumps up from her seat with a camera. A snap, a picture taken. McCloud. I know what you're up to, Miss Matson. Louise.
Come on, one more. The man who created the shield.
McCloud flips her off.
You know, there are those of us that believe the shield is no longer necessary. I'm actually leading a team to have it destroyed.
McCloud. I believe you're right. A shot of the almost invisible shield above. Louise.
I knew you'd come to the same conclusion. That's why I need your help. You created it.
Page 4. McCloud. The methane shield was meant to keep our guests secured. What if we're wrong? If it is still necessary, then we'll all probably choke on the fumes and explode or something. I'm not really sure. Louise.
But if we're right, then the fumes will kill us slower. How would you like a fart in the face, right here, right now?
Louise bends over and rips a fart in his face. McCloud. Hey! Louise.
How about another one? I can go on for days. I should you not?
Louise farts in his face again. McCloud. A far shot of the earth covered in the methane gas. Now it's back to McCloud standing up. He pulls his brown sword. McCloud. You know, there's some people in this world who know when to stop. Smiling. And some people who don't. Stepping up to her. Which kind are you? Louise bends over and farts in McCloud's face for the 3rd time. McCloud soars back nearly flying and shatters a glass statue of a bowling ball. Louise almost laughs, without noticing 2 rat-faced men soaring down on hoverboards. She screams as they pick her up and out of the car. Back to McCloud, rising from glass. He pulls the shards from his old, melting face. Now he's running away, past his car, and we follow him, looking all around. 3 toothless bums run out to tap his shoulder. Bum leader. Hey, you got some change for the oxygen machine? McCloud farts. Hey, you cheap fuck! Connor spins around, his face more like smashed pie. Bum leader. You're McCloud, aren't you? Yeah, I recognize the smell. McCloud. So what? The bums run away in fear, but then the 2 rat-faced men hover by on their hoverboards, intending to rip Louise apart. She's soon dropped into a dumpster, which closes. These 2 now open fire, blowing up the evading bums. McCloud pulls a cord from his right sleeve. One of the 2 rat-faced men now hover by, firing at the ground. Closing in on McCloud. But McCloud drops to one knee, farting, and whipping off the rat man's head. McCloud, slow-mo. Oh no! Not again! The 2nd rat man fires at a diesel passing by. A fiery explosion. And McCloud drops to both knees, turning to it. Louise peeks out of the garbage with the cat scratching at her. She pays no mind, witnessing the truck blow up even more against the old man. Page 5. upon the surviving Ratman lowering to the street with a hideous laugh. A loud fart escapes the fiery wreckage. Lightning descends from the sky, slicing open the shield of methane. The fire is high, but has died down. Louise is crawling out of the dumpster and throwing the cat aside. Back to the truck wreckage. The Doodlebug's headlights flash on, and the small car squeals. It backs up and drives away with a screech. But suddenly, Connor McCloud steps out of the fire, at least as young as he was in the first Fartlander. He pats out the fire, burning his long hair. A stare at Louise. Then his angry eyes turn to the rat, now a long, squeaky fart. Connor jumps on the free hoverboard and charges the Ratman with his brown sword. The Ratman hisses, complete with snake tongue. He then ascends slowly, now pulling a pipe from the rail of a catwalk on some second story. McCloud slices the smoking pipe in half. The Ratman jumps high, roundhouse kicking McCloud around, spinning once around on the hoverboard. McCloud then stabs through the Ratman's abdomen, spilling his guts. McCloud just smiles, now cutting him up to and through the skull. A final scream. Ratman falls dead. Connor lowers to Louise, sending the hoverboard hitting a fire hydrant. Water kills the fire. Louise splashes McCloud her tits. Cut to Chamber of the Judges. Katana stands in front of the screen, revealing the future street carnage. He pulls a brown sword, looking at it. Behind him are the three judges hanging by their necks, eyes dangling out of the skulls from their sockets. Katana, gazing at sword. I guess if you want something done, you have to do it yourself. Katana walks into a refrigerator. It lights up and disappears in the snick of a fart. Cut to subway train, in motion. Interior, head cart. The fridge lands, squashing a man doing push-ups in the middle of the aisle. As the blood seeps out and under the oblivious passenger's feet, Katana breaks out, through the door and covered in chocolate ice creamy feces. Katana. That was great! Yes! Katana farts, stepping out of the refrigerator. He passes by, gassing the passengers into unconsciousness. Interior, control room. Katana opens the door furiously. The conductor turns, stuffing his face with chocolate pudding. Katana. Hi. Katana turns around and farts long and loud on the conductor's face. The conductor screams. Then his head implodes. Flash to a moment later. Katana at the controls, laughing madly at high speed. Katana. My kind of town! Page 6. Exterior, Skyway. The train breaks out of the ground. It soars high over a collection of 1- and 2-story buildings, before exploding against the shield of methane above. Cut to apartment complex. Rainfall. Interior, McCloud's apartment. Louise looks out the window at the shield, collecting raindrops and dispensing it as acid drops. Louise.
So, you built the shield.
Away from window.
You forever farting as a Fartlander. And now you need help from your friend who is dead. But...
McCloud. Voiceover. Those Ratmen were only the beginning. One of my past enemies sent them to try and kill me before the shittening returned me back to my immortal state. He's here now. He came to this future from the past. Louise.
What are we going to do?
McCloud. I have to call an old friend. Upon McCloud on the shitter, McCloud farts his friend's name. Then he flushes. Louise.
Why does he want to kill you?
McCloud. Because, in the end, there could be only none. McCloud jumps on Louise and he nails her into the floor. Then the floor begins to shake. McCloud farts. and then they turn to the toilet shaking. They roll up, dress back up, and back away. McCloud pulls his brown sword. Louise.
This is too much for a whore like me.
Now Ramirez busts out of the toilet, covered in shit. Ramirez, close up. Greetings, Fartlander. You called? McCloud. Flash 2, moments later. Ramirez is cleaning himself off with Louise's shirt. She's down to her bra. She looks to McCloud looking over a globe. Ramirez chucks the shitty shirt at Louise. Ramirez, stepping up. McCloud, about that shield. You built that monstrosity? Why? McCloud, it was necessary at the time. Ramirez, okay, so what's the plan? McCloud, we're going to break in and destroy it. McCloud walks away, farting with each step. Ramirez stares at Louise Medson's chest. She undoes her bra and flashes him. Flash 2, Ramirez fucking Louise on the shitter. Page 7. Cut to Shield Control, exterior, outer parking lot. A familiar doodlebug drives by, running over a guard, turning him into a waffle. Acid rain is falling. Interior, inner parking lot. Guns are blazing from 4 other guards. The car drives by and is riddled with bullets. The car runs the guards down. The car is parked and McCloud gets out of the driver's side. Ramirez gets out of the passenger seat and they walk over to an elevator door opening. 2 guards run out and open fire. McCloud and Ramirez are shot back. Then they're shot down. The guards laugh it up. Then the 2 Fartlanders rise and cut the guards in half at the waist. Interior, elevator. The Fartlanders enter. Ramirez hits the button for the top floor. And then the door slides shut. The 2 wait side by side. Then Ramirez farts. McCloud looks back to see Louise coughing up hairy shit. A mouse runs out of the pile. McCloud to Ramirez. You brought the whore. Ramirez. Damn right I did. McCloud nods once. Interior, office. Connor, Ramirez, and Louise run in. The door slams shut behind them. Connor turns back, and then follows the steel shutters, closing off any escape. The 3 look up as Barney the dinosaur is hung and cut in half, swinging around from a giant fan coming down slowly from the opening ceiling. Ramirez walks out in the middle of it. Louise at the door.
I can open this.
Louise sneezes at the control box, and it begins to spark. McCloud watches as Barney's body is pulled up and cut up. Ramirez, pulling sword. Just stay back! McCloud, I can fart! Ramirez, pointing. Oh, you can't, not this time. Ramirez sticks his sword into the center of the ground, sticking right up with such a force he farts. McCloud turns back to Louise, rubbing snot over the weakening controls, and she farts. McCloud turns back to the fan, shrinking with a fart just the same. Ramirez. Most people have a full measure of gas. Circling sword on a motorcycle. And some people just watch it slowly spread away. Hula hooping around the sword. But if you could summon it all up at one time, in one place. Ramirez, McCloud, and Louise shrink as the giant fan swings down upon them. Ramirez continues. You can rip something glorious. The fan begins to break down. The whole place lights up. And then the door opens. Ramirez lights a match and smiles at McCloud. Page 8. Ramirez concluded. Go. McCloud. Will I ever see you again? Ramirez. Who knows, Fartlander? Lowering match. Who knows? Louise exits. Go! McCloud leaves slowly, playing the bagpipe. The door shuts, and Ramirez farts on the match. Flash 2, shield control. A tall building and a massive explosion. Out of one of the windows high above, glass and fire bricks rain down on the town. Cars and people are crushed. Exterior, shield buttocks. An opening. The ground is fat and ass-like. 2 giant buttocks. Louise runs up and is sucked in. McCloud sighs, walking up with his sword. He looks the methane line up and down. Louise tries escaping the giant asshole, covered in shit, which erupts in her face. Her eyes fill with blood, and she spits it out of her mouth. Katana now walks up out of nowhere. He raises his sword and tries to sever Louise's head from her neck. McCloud runs by, pushing Louise away. McCloud, it's over, Katana. Katana, we shall see. McCloud and Katana connect swords. Katana drives McCloud back. McCloud ducks a swing from Katana, and then he kicks Katana back. His free hand stuck in the methane line. Katana, hand to nub. McCloud sucker punches Katana in the mouth. Katana spits out his dentures. McCloud crushes them under his boot. Katana swings back. McCloud jumps out of the way. Katana swings again, shattering McCloud's brown sword. McCloud lunges at Katana, and the two struggle for the last brown sword. Katana knees McCloud in the crotch. Katana headbutts McCloud into the grunting stubble. Exterior, catwalk. McCloud breaks through the glass. Acid rain is still falling from the shield of methane. McCloud gets up slowly as Katana steps out with the brown sword. Katana, I've been waiting for a long time, McCloud. Waiting to shit on everything you love. Louise jumps up and flashes Katana her tits. Katana gasps in delight. His eyes almost popping out of his skull. Then McCloud pulls him around with his free hand, sticking the blade of his sword through Katana's forehead. Katana. Out of the eye sockets comes the eyes, followed by thick fecal matter. Katana drops to his knees, whining. McCloud, there can be only none. McCloud swings the sword back and lops off Katana's head. The body drops, and Connor McCloud is struck by lightning. Ramirez then walks around the corner, sipping from a coffee mug. The buttocks is gone, and the shield of methane disappears. Connor McCloud rips major ass. Ramirez walks over and gropes Louise Madsen. Then they turn to McCloud standing up after the shitting ceases. McCloud, the shield is gone. Now back to the present. Back to the Fartlands. Ramirez, do you have any creamer? Louise squeezes creamer into Ramirez's coffee from both her tits, smashing her boobs together. Louise.
Can I go to your present? To the Fartlands?
McCloud. Sure. The three disappear in a bolt of lightning. The end. Fartlander III. Brandon O'Keefe, March 18th, 2018. Page 1. It's 1994. After traveling back from the year 2024, Ramirez and his woman Louise Madsen have settled in a castle in the Fartlands. Ramirez is before a desk and a small window overlooking a view of a cliffside, with green grass. He's writing something, pen to paper. Ramirez, voiceover. From the dawn of time we came, stinking silently through the centuries. No one had ever known we were among you, until now. After traveling with Louise and my old friend Carter through time, we found ourselves back in this year, 1994. But it is not the same as we left it. Now a new so-called ruler tries to silence our thoughts. We Fartlanders are no longer hidden. If he has it his way, the immortal Fartlanders will all soon be extinct. But for now, we are forced into a strange time of proper etiquette. Louise Madsen walks up. She intends to surprise them, but she farts. Ramirez spins around, getting up and grabbing her. He laughs. And they continue to spin around. She laughs too. They dance and fart and stink. Then they kiss, belching big into each other's mouths. Louise.
You don't really think they'll pass those stupid rules, do you?
Ramirez. It doesn't matter, Louise. I have a nasty plan. Ramirez takes Louise to the bathroom. They kneel down to the toilet. Louise watches him pull the roll of toilet paper, stretched out over the top of the toilet, writing it in drawings in brown. Louise, wide-eyed and smiling.
You've been busy, Ramirez.
Ramirez. You'll help me break into their secret base tomorrow night, and then I have a big surprise for them, waiting deep in my bowels. Louise.
Can we count on Connor to help?
Ramirez, rolling toilet paper back up. No. Once Connor found a new love coupled with the way things are now, I can't expect him to do much of anything except wait it out. He chooses to simply hide away, while the rest of us immortals chop each other's heads off. But when the time comes, he'll feel the irresistible urge to the shittening, and come time the flushing, in the end, there can be only none. Suddenly, guards barge into the bathroom. Louise is screaming. Being pulled out, Ramirez puts his hands up, being escorted away at gunpoint. Page 2. In a blimp floating above the castle, Ramirez and Louise are dragged into a room, before a constipated man before a podium. Lights on him, and the accused, but all else is dark. Podium man. Greetings, Ramirez. I am Snoot, the ruler. Ramirez. I know who you are. What is your intention, Snoot? Snoot. Why, to wipe the Fartlanders from the face of the earth. There could be only none after all. Ramirez. How do you propose to do that? Snoot. Think of it as an acceleration to the time of the flushing. Snoot snaps his fingers. And another man, Kane, steps in. He raises his sword to Louise's neck. She begins to panic. A squeaky fart is let out. Kane just smiles with mad eyes on her cleavage. Ramirez. Let her go. It's me you want. Snoot. This is Kane, and he will be the last immortal. See? I've been having him execute every last one of your kind. And once you tell me where Connor McLeod is hiding, this can all end. Ramirez. Never. Snoot snaps his fingers again. Kane slits Louise's throat. She drops dead. Blood spilling out. Then she shits herself. Kane. You're next, Ramirez. Ramirez. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Snoot. Do it! Kane, bringing sword up. Yes, sir. Kane cuts Ramirez's head off. Lightning surrounds Kane and he is subject to the shittening. Kane, farting uncontrollably. Kane lifts off the ground a foot, but then a ticking time bomb of a shit in Ramirez's bowels ignites. Snoot. No! Ramirez sends out a final fart. An explosion occurs. Kane is sent flying out of the room and out of the blimp. He falls down a burning mass, arms flailing. He splashes down in a body of water. Up above, Snoot and his goons are burned away in a matter of seconds. Down the blimp glows in flames, subjected to a series of explosions now. Splash. The blimp lands in the body of water and sinks to the bottom. Ramirez took the ruler and his tiny world with him, but Kane surfaces. Page 3. In New York City, upon an apartment complex, to an upper-level window, into a bedroom, to the bed, where a blonde woman lies next to Connor McLeod, half under cover and in the nude, her bare breasts revealed. Then a fart from Connor. He jumps up, as if from a nightmare. He is breathing heavily, resting on the edge of the bed. He grabs his clothes at his feet. A little later, the woman awakens. She quickly dresses and rushes to the bathroom. Blonde, opening door.
Connor.
Connor is on the shitter. He looks up and waves her back. She steps back and closes the door. Later in the morning, after sunrise, the two are having breakfast. Eggs, waffles, and bacon. Connor and his blonde woman eat up. She drinks her juice, staring at him. Connor. What is it, Sarah? Sarah.
Wanna tell me about it? Did you feel a shitting?
Connor. Yes. Sarah.
That's 5 this week. They were getting closer to their goal. I'm getting scared, Connor.
Connor. This one was different. It was my old friend. Sarah.
Ramirez?
He nods, teary-eyed.
I'm sorry.
Sarah jumps up, walks over, and embraces him. He embraces her in return. Sarah, kissing his forehead.
Go ahead and fart.
Connor does as he's told. Suddenly, the apartment is broken into. Sarah screams. Hiding under the table as Connor quickly grabs his old brown sword attached beneath it, he stands up as the 4 immortals come at him. A sword in each hand. Connor, under his breath. Come on. The two will lunge at him. Their 3 swords connect. Again and again. Connor is backed away to the window. He jump kicks one of them and chops the other's head off. The shitting begins, lightning around McLeod as the other 2 rush him. Smash! Out the window they go. Down to the sidewalk where pedestrians scatter and scream. Splat! A bloody mess. Back up above. Sarah watches the remaining immortal approach the window. He jumps out. Page 4. Splat! The last one lands as Connor and the other 2 rise, completely healed from their prior fate. Out into the middle of the busy street, clank after clank, sword to sword. Connor jumps up onto the roof of a car, as does one of the others. Clang, clank, clank, clank. The last one out rises now. He watches Connor bring his sword around, chopping another one's head off. As the other one comes up from behind, he's blasted away by Connor's spark. And McLeod is sent soaring up in the sky, lightning coursing through him. Connor, fart flying to 2-story rooftop. Connor lands and takes a moment to regain his strength. At the window across the way, Sarah watches as the last 2 immortals climb up the catwalk and stairs. Sarah.
They were coming. Get up.
Connor gets up and stumbles back, spreading more gas. Now he's stronger than ever. He lifts his sword as the 2 reach the top. They choke on his fumes and blindly stumble forth through the blinding gas. Clank after clank. Once more. Connor ducks and dodges air slices from them. Then, with a fart and one last swing of his brown sword, both of them are decapitated. Across the way, Sarah is smiling. She watches as Connor is subjected to a double shit. Farts galore. When the lightning ceases, Connor is flung off the side of the building. He lands splattering against the street. Sarah watches as a diesel is approaching. It runs him over. She looks away, disgusted. Down below, moments later, Sarah runs up and helps Connor up. He's just fine. Later that day, at the airport, McLeod and Sarah walk down the terminal. Connor. I have to go now, Sarah. Back to the Fartlands. Sarah.
I'm coming with you.
Connor. No, Sarah, it's too dangerous. Sarah.
You don't know who's waiting for you. I'm coming with you.
Connor. Okay, let's go. McLeod and Sarah board the plane. They take their seat. Soon, the plane takes off. Away from NYC, across the ocean, to the Fartlands they fly. Connor. Voiceover. Sarah was right. What immortal was waiting for me, and how powerful the farts. Page 5. In a cave near Ramirez's castle, Connor hammers away at steel. He adds another layer to his sword. Sarah watches, seated on a rock outside. Stinky Fartlander plays as Connor swings his sword on the cliff top. Now rowing a boat above a sunken blimp. The water is turning brown. Connor continues this montage, running alongside a beach. Now up top another cliff, he stands tall, ripping loud with his arms out, staring ahead at the Fartlands. Now Connor is just outside the castle. Sarah creeps up from behind. She farts. Connor smiles, turning to face her. Sarah.
How does it smell?
Connor. You've been practicing. Sarah walks up to him. They embrace. They kiss. A little belch from her. Then from him. Sarah.
What's the matter?
Connor. Sarah. He's close. Sarah.
Who?
Connor. I can feel his stench churning. Kane. It's just him now. Connor runs into the castle. Sarah races after him. Up a flight of stairs and a fart let out with each step McLeod takes. Sarah runs up too, gagging. Connor grabs his sword as a thunderstorm brews above them. Day disappears in a flash. The dark night has begun. Sarah.
He'll shoot everywhere. You have to stop him.
Connor. We're the last two immortals. Now is the time. Lightning strikes the castle side. Sarah is ripped out. Sarah! Connor McLeod dives out the window as another strike of lightning comes down upon the castle. And the castle crumbles as Connor chases after Sarah in air. In the storm is Kane, and he cuts Sarah in half at the waist with his blade. Kane. Ha 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 ha! Welcome, Fartlander. Connor. No! Kane and Connor's swords slice against each other. Sparks fly and the water below starts to flush. It's brown down. A strong, stinky wind surrounds them, pulling the last two immortals down. Page 6. Down the two fall in a burst of lightning. The two enter the stinky dimensional plane. Connor chases after Kane through a vortex storm. Kane. The flushing is here, McLeod. Farts spread from all sides. The two immortals are shot out of vortex shithole. They roll out onto the floor of a factory. Both stand, picking up their swords and facing each other for the final battle. Kane charges, and Connor brings his sword up in a defensive attack. All around drips shit, and it's boiling below them like lava. And it is rising like a sea of burning fecal matter. Connor cuts Kane in half at the waist. Kane laughs, taking hold of the railing as his lower half reconnects itself. Connor stares angrily, eyes squinting, releasing a squeaker. Connor charges and the two blades meet again. This time holding with the two pressing close. Farting geysers erupt on each side of them. Both are hit by it a little, and it burns them. Kane. You think your farts are strong? Mine are stronger! Kane explodes in his pants. Connor. Too much power, Kane. Excuse you. Kane grunts. Still letting loose in his pants. Connor slugs him in the mouth, and Kane backs away and drops his sword. Connor cuts Kane's right arm off. With his left arm, Kane tries to plug his asshole, but the shit won't stop. Connor smirks, enjoying it. Kane. This can't be me! Connor cuts Kane's head off. Connor, there can be only none. Kane's body drops. The whole place explodes with shit as Connor sent Fart flying into the air. Connor dropping his sword. Lightning and wind surround him. Shit covers the entire place now, and Connor spins around in all directions. More rapidly as time passes, farts of flame explode. Now glowing flame shit balls out McCloud's ass. Connor disappears in a cloud of light as this dimension is flushed away. Connor's ghost fades in and out, flickering a moment before being flushed away for good. The end.